I was born and raised in Eastern Congo, DRC, and in the mid 1990s, I had to flee to Tanzania for safety, again because of wars that were happening at that time. The place I was born in was completely off-grid. So growing up in Eastern Congo, I really experienced firsthand the consequences of living in energy poverty. My town, Baraka, was not connected to the grid, completely off-grid. So we had to rely on very expensive and dirty energy sources for both lighting, cooking, but also appliance powering. And when I fled, when I was young and I fled to Tanzania for safety again, myself and my family were placed in a refugee camp that was also completely off-grid, no access to electricity again. And we also had to rely on, again, very expensive, dirty, and unreliable energy sources for lighting, cooking, and appliance powering. And so I really had this first-hand experience of the consequences of that in terms of household income spent spent on the purchase of those energy sources, but also on their unreliability aspect. So for instance, when you might need the light during the night to study, you wouldn't have it because maybe definitely the family didn't buy enough, kerosene. So I had all those experiences, and then I had the opportunity to go to the university, and also we had I took energy and environment and development course, and had a lot of discussion with my co-founder Ongwa on the situation of energy poverty in the DRC. And really, these experiences and the discussion that we had in the university, compelled us to decide to return back to the DRC after our studies in Tanzania. In spite of all this prospect that we had in Tanzania, we decided to leave everything and come to the DRC in 2013 to start Altech, again, in the same off-grid town that we grew up in. That's where all the story started, So it's a very long story, but it really started there. So 500 full-time and 3,000 plus, including the commission-based agents. Definitely, we started very small. As I said, it's a very big operations now, a very huge company now. But it started very small again in Eastern Congo when we decided to come back, and we came back with a few solar lanterns that we decided to pilot in Baraka. And the idea definitely for those few lanterns was to sell on a cash basis to the households, household in Baraka. But very early in the business, a few weeks in the business, we realized that, even if the price of those solar lanterns at that time was between 13 and 15. But in spite of this, you would consider those to be very cheap, right? Very affordable. But, when people were supposed to pay upfront, we realized even that price is a little bit, difficult for people. It's a little bit higher for people to pay upfront. And so we had really to pivot to starting selling on credit, even if we didn't have even pay-as-you-go technology back then. We started selling on credit in order to make this product affordable to the people to the customer that we were targeting, off-grid households in Baraka. And and again, when we decided to pivot to go into selling on credit, we said, okay, it's a good idea, but it wouldn't be wise to sell to everyone. So we had to pick, what we considered to be the most reliable customer group, which are teachers and health workers. So we decided, we developed a business model in which we had to create partnerships with schools and health centers, and using school and health centers administrators as our loan officers. So we'll go into schools and convince the school administrator or health center administrator of all the benefits that the solar lamps will provide it to the teachers and health workers and things like that, and to the health center itself. And using those benefits, explanations on benefits, to convince the administrator to become our loan officer. So we will definitely on credit through them, and then they will collect payments and then deposit those payments to Altech. And we used that model in Baraka first, and then we scaled across the DRC using the same model, targeting schools and health centers across the DRC, and we sell hundreds of thousands of solar product that. And then after operating for almost 3 years using the same model, then we decided to expand our customer base and not only deal with teachers and health workers. And when we decided to do that, then we said definitely we need to introduce pay-as-you-go technology, because then definitely it was about targeting as many people as possible, and wouldn't the school administrator as a loan officer model wouldn't work for other people. So we had to introduce early on the pay-as-you-go tech-backed pay-as-you-go model to distribute our products, and that's when we introduced pay-as-you-go enabled solar products. We have the solar lamp categories. The solar lamps that provide, in terms of services, these ones provide lighting and phone charging services to our customers. So, but again, they have only a single source of lighting, only one bulb, but it also comes with a cable, multi-charging cable that they use to charge their mobile phones. We also have what we call solar lighting systems. They still provide two services, lighting and phone charging. But in terms of when it comes to the lighting, this comes from different multiple sources, like they have different bulbs. And then we have what we call solar home systems with appliances. So these ones, they provide definitely lighting, phone charging, but also we couple them with such appliances as the TVs ranging from 24-inch up to 40-inch, fans, air clippers, sound bars, and other types of appliances. And definitely the last one is what we call solar generators. These are solar systems that provide AC power, mostly for small businesses that wanted to power their fridges, their freezers, and things like that. So we have a broad range of products now to cater for different needs of different groups of customers across the DRC. The first one, why is pay-as-you-go needed? Because as I said, even in the beginning, when we started piloting with what we consider the cheapest of the solar lamps, costing only $10 to $15, it was still not easy for people to pay upfront, right? Because the pay-as-you-go model is a model in which customers, acquire a product after paying a small down payment, and then the outstanding payment, they pay them monthly or weekly or daily over a time of 2 to 3 years. So definitely this makes this product affordable. So if, for instance, a product would cost, for instance, $250 upfront, but definitely a customer might not be able to have $250 and pay upfront for that kit. So, but again, if you tell them that just pay $10 or $15 or $20 down payment, and then the rest, maybe 250, you pay $10 or $5 for 36 months. Definitely, that makes it easier for the customer to acquire product, and as they use the product, they also pay for it. Yeah, so it's the DRC is a very particular, a very special market. uh, so because of the potential that it offers, but also because of the challenges that you have to go through to overcome in order to be successful operating this market. And one of these challenges is the security challenges. So when we started, we have gone through this again before when we just launched in 2013. There was again M23 again. And then we had to go through that and survived. And after that, again, scaled our operations. So we have gone through this before, and were able to go through it and become again successful. And so we have learned a lot in terms of coping with these kind of challenges. But the most important thing that also I think is important to note is the fact that the DRC market is just a very big country. So we operate across the DRC in all the provinces. DRC has 26 provinces, and we are operational in all of the 26 provinces. So the event that happened in Goma and Bukavu definitely affects or like 4% of our operation, or between 2 and 4% of our operations. So it is still like the bulk of our operation, 97 plus of our operation are still operating normally. So if you look in terms of my own experience, for lighting, we were using kerosene lamps or kerosene candles. This is traditional kerosene candles. So definitely they will emit CO2. And definitely in terms of health, there is smoke that you have that they emit too. So if you spend the whole night in a candlelit bedroom, definitely at the end in the morning, if you cough, there are a lot of black things like that come out. So it shows you how much smoke you have inhaled through when throughout the night, and that definitely have consequences. But also in terms of education in the education area, most of these were not reliable. First of all, you have to make sure that you have the money to pay for kerosene every day. Most of these households don't have, they have to choose between buying food and sometimes buying kerosene, and sometimes you will definitely end up not. And the kerosene in those areas is very expensive again, because of bad road and things like that. Getting kerosene to these rural areas becomes very expensive. Uh, so you end up sometimes, spending night, in darkness without any light. And as we were young, definitely, if there is any study that you have to do is at night, because during the day after school you play soccer, and then it's only after that then you come back for for any reading. So yeah, and then definitely if there is no light, there is nothing you can do. You could just go back direct to the bed. Yeah, so there are really impact consequences, like when it comes to the benefit that these products have. I've seen them. I've experienced them firsthand. The idea is really to connect each household, each organization, each institution in energy poverty situation to clean energy. That is really is like to achieve universal access to modern energy in the DRC. So that is the vision that we have, and the mission that we are working towards. But again, we 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 have we are broadening our products. We are also like really doing much now in modern cooking. So we are setting up assembly plant, 6 assembly plant for modern cooking appliances in the DRC. We are also setting up 6 assembly plant for e-mobility solutions, including electric motorcycles and tricycles. So yeah, so all of these are some, and really we are really looking forward to expanding those other businesses across over the next 5 years. So yeah, the bright is in spite of the challenges, which will pass, we'll overcome these challenges, and definitely the bright is the future is bright.